profit and loss 盈利及虧蝕 There are 4 formulas for profit and loss respectively. I will introduce these formulas by a case in daily life. There are 2 packs of masks. They are of different brands, brand A and B. Brand A is called 7 Days and brand B is called 超立體. If I am the owner of this pack of masks, originally I bought it for $200. Now I sell it to a customer at $250. In this case, I can earn $50. It is the profit. $250 is the selling price. 售價 and it is the cost. 成本 For brand B, the owner bought this pack of masks for $500. It is the cost. And he sells it at $550. It is the selling price. In this case, the owner earned $50. It is the profit. In these 2 cases, you can see that the profits are the same. But if we compare the profit and the cost, the profit is relatively higher. Now I will introduce the profit percentage. We can use Formula 2 to calculate the profit percentage. For brand A, the profit percentage is the profit over the cost times 100%. The profit is $50, and for the denominator is the cost, $200 times 100%. Remember, the denominator is the cost. The denominator is the cost. The denominator is the cost, but not the selling price. The profit percentage is 25%. And then for brand B, the profit percentage is equal to $50, the profit over the cost. The cost is $500. And the profit percentage is 10%. Remember, the denominator, $500, is the cost, not the selling price. We need to compare the profit with the cost. It is very important. Now I will talk about an example. Mrs. Lee bought a flat with $5,500,000 2 years ago. Mrs. Lee bought a flat with $5,500,000 2 years ago, so it is the cost. Now she sells it at $6,600,000. It is the selling price. For part 1, you need to find the profit. It is equal to the selling price minus the cost. The final answer is $1,100,000. For part 1, I'm using this formula to find the profit, selling price minus cost. For part 2, we need to find the profit percentage. I can use formula 2. For the numerator, it is profit. And for the denominator, it is the cost. Times 100%. The final answer is 20%. The next question, Mr. Wong bought a calculator with $240 and then sold it at $186. You can see that the selling price is less than the cost. So in this case, Mr. Wong suffers a loss from selling it. So for part 1, you are not going to find the profit, but you need to find the loss. The loss is equal to the cost, $240 minus $186. And the final answer is $54. For part 2, we need to find the loss percentage. One more thing for part 1, you can see that the formula 1. Compare these two formulas. For profit is equal to selling price minus cost, because selling price is higher than the cost. For loss, cost minus selling price, because in this case, the cost is higher than the selling price. Okay, part 2. The loss is equal to loss over the cost times 100%. The answer is 22.5%. Remember, for the loss percentage, the formula, in the fraction, the denominator is the cost. The next question, Mr. Chow sold a mobile phone at $445. So it is the selling price. and earned $45. It is the profit. You need to find the profit percentage. For the numerator, we write down the profit, $45. And for the denominator, we need to write down the cost. But for the question, does not tell us the cost, and we need to find the cost. Because we know the selling price and we know the profit, so the cost is just equal to selling price minus the profit. You can see that the cost is $400 because he sold the mobile phone at $445, so he earned $45. So it is the final answer. The next example, a shop is selling potato chips at 25% profit percentage, and the cost of a bag of potato chips is $24. It is the cost. And we need to find the profit and the selling price. We can find the profit by using Formula 3. You can see that the question gives us the profit percentage and the cost. So we just substitute these two values into this formula, 24 times 25%. Then we can get the profit. But you may think why we can use this formula to find the profit. Now I will show you how to derive Formula 3 from Formula 2. Look at Formula 2. 100% is just equal to 1. So for the next step, we can have profit percentage is equal to the profit over the cost. Now, just like solving an equation, I move the cost to left hand side. After transposing term, you can see that the profit is equal to cost times profit percentage. It is the same as Formula 3. Now I will use Formula 3 to find the profit. The profit is equal to 24 times 25%. It is equal to $6. And then we need to find the selling price. Because we know the profit and the cost. So the selling price is just equal to the cost, 24, plus the profit, 6. That means if we sell the product at $30 because the cost is $24, so I can earn $6. Another example, given that the cost of a pen is $1.5, it is the cost, and the profit is not given. The question only gives you the profit percentage, 60%. And you need to find the selling price of the pen. We can find the selling price by formula 4. Cost times bracket 1 plus profit percentage. Now I will show you why we can use this formula to find the selling price. Firstly, we consider the right hand side of the formula. Cost times bracket 1 plus profit percentage. Recall what you have learned before. We need to remove the bracket, the cost times 1, so we can get cost here, plus the cost times profit percentage. So here I write down cost times profit percentage. And then by formula 3, we know that cost times profit percentage is equal to the profit. So we can get cost plus profit here. And we know that cost plus profit is equal to selling price. So that's why this formula can help us to find the selling price. Now we find the selling price by using formula 4. The cost 1.5 times 1 plus 60%. It is equal to 1.5. You no need to remove the bracket because 1 plus 60% is equal to 160%. And then convert the percentage to a fraction. The selling price is $2.4. It is method 1, and I recommend you use this method to find the selling price. But some of you may use another method. For method 2, you may need to write more steps. So that's why I recommend you to use method 1. For method 2, you may find the profit first. The profit is equal to the cost times 60%. It is equal to $0.9. I find the profit by using formula 3. And then the next step, I can find the selling price. The selling price is equal to the cost, 1.5 plus 0.9. It is equal to 2.4. You can see that I get the same answer. Another example, a shop is selling charging cables for iPhone at 10% loss percentage. Given that the cost of each charging cable is $16, it is the cost. And you need to find the loss and the selling price. It is similar to the case in calculating the profit. We can use formula 3 to find the loss. Loss is equal to cost times loss percentage. We can derive formula 3 from formula 2. The loss is equal to the cost, $16 times 10%. It is equal to $1.6. And then the next thing, we need to find the selling price. The selling price is just equal to $16 minus $1.6. And the selling price is $14.4. It is another example of the topic loss. In a shop, a computer is sold at a loss of 40%. It is the loss percentage. If the cost is $5,888, we need to find the selling price. It is similar to find the selling price in the profit case. But remember, for this formula, it is for the loss case. So you can see that the formula is different. Here, you can see that it is the minus sign. By using formula 4, the selling price is equal to the cost. The cost is $5,888 times 1 minus 40%. It is equal to 5,888 times 60%. The final answer is $3,532.8. It is method 1, and I recommend you use this method. But some of you may use a different method to do this question. Method 2. Some of you may find the loss first by using formula 3. By formula 3, the loss is equal to the cost times the loss percentage, 40%. The loss is $2,355.2. The next step, I find the selling price. Because I know the cost and the loss, the selling price is equal to the cost minus the loss. The answers are the same. To conclude, let us recall the formulas. You can see that for the profit and loss, the formula 1, they are similar. The difference is for the profit is equal to selling price minus the cost. And for the loss is equal to the cost minus selling price. The position of selling price and the cost is different. Because if the owner can earn money, then the selling price is higher than the cost. So for the profit is equal to selling price minus the cost. If the owner suffers a loss, then the selling price is less than the cost. So the formula should be cost minus selling price. For formula 2, remember the denominator is the cost. The denominator is the cost. For finding profit percentage, the numerator is the profit. For the loss percentage, the numerator is the loss. Formula 3 can be derived from Formula 2. Formula 3 can be derived from Formula 2 by transposing term. And then the last thing, for Formula 4, remember, for finding the selling price, for the profit case, it is the positive sign and it is the minus sign.